Good evening. Turns out China is leaving a growing trail of spent rocket stages in Leo, and it's turning the place into a debris field. Rocket Lab just bought Iridium. Wow, we're going to talk about that a lot. NASA and the SBA announced a partnership, and in related news, NASA announced 40 space technologies for collaboration. I'm imagining that there's some nice overlap there. A German company intends to raise 510 million euros to boost their capacity and invest in rockets. More sovereign stuff coming up. NASA is paying 30 million to rescue the aging Swift telescope, and what they're doing might actually have some use elsewhere. Canceled Artemis contracts have now reached 5.9 billion, and a chunk of that money has already been spent, and the hardware has been delivered, and now there's nowhere to go. Rocket Lab got a NASA contract for 3 launches from New Zealand. Firefly just bought the AI firm that landed the Blue Ghost successfully on the moon. NASA announces winners of their 2026 Lander Challenge. These are all colleges and universities. And the Federal Trade Commission gave Elon Musk the okay to acquire Mesh Optical, a firm founded by 3 SpaceX alumni. Now, tonight, we had an interesting situation. We didn't get our producer back from his trip. He's still stuck in Vegas. And also our guest for tonight, Yvonne Turchak, called in sick, basically. So it's Michael and I doing the news and talking about stuff. And hopefully a lot of you folks tonight will be coming in with your questions, and we'll find a main topic, and we'll work it to death like we always do. We're winging it tonight, folks. Let's have some fun. From the news desk at the Center for Space Commerce and Finance, my name is Thomas Andrew Olson, and this is The Unknown Quantity. And as you know, this program is brought to you by the Center for Space Commerce and Finance. What do? We champion and strengthen emerging space startups and space-adjacent enterprises worldwide through advisory, access, and advocacy. Our legendary pitch events and world-class boot camps fortify startups to be better investor-ready. Now, a lot of our work, especially this podcast, is supported by our listeners and fans like you. So if you just go to cscf.space/support, and click that Plain as Day donate button. A little in the tip jar each month makes a big difference. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell your friends. Speaking of friends, my oldest space friend, Michael Lane, who just finished his new Eye in the Pyramid painting, is here with me. Michael, come on in, man.
Hey, how's things?
Good. You paint those things all the time. I think you're selling them at the farmer's market, right? To raise a little money for Liftport.
Right, exactly. Yeah. How's things? What's going on?
Oh, it's okay. The usual typical summer thing here. It's 95 and swampy, and then we have a huge gully washer rainstorm late in the afternoon, which makes it 100% humidity afterwards for a while. And everything, even the bamboo, which are kind of growing up pretty robustly now, is like bending over and sad and sagging. Oh my God, I couldn't tell you rain too hard. I can't take this. So.
Oh, fun. Yeah, it's gray and cloudy. I haven't seen the sun all day. It's just had this perpetual overcast since the moment I woke up this morning. But that's Seattle in June, days before the 4th of July. Do you have any plans for the 4th?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
There's been so much on my plate. I finally sat back and thought, the semi-quincentennial is coming next weekend, and I don't have a plan in the world.
All right.
It's funny because I got, I could do pretty much whatever, my fancy, because I'm old enough to remember the bicentennial.
Sure. Yeah.
And back then I was a young lad of 22, and I had $3 in my pocket. I started a new job the previous month, and it was like for the state of Oregon, and they, I had something at the university hospital up there, right? Didn't pay a whole lot, but it was steady.
Yeah.
And I got bennies.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you're a state employee, there, you're on probation for the first 6 months, which means you don't get paid until the 10th.
Okay.
And you get paid in the first after that, but
Right.
you don't get paid till on the 10th for the first 6 months you're there.
Yeah.
And of course, the problem is the rent is always due on the 5th.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's
life was fun then. So on that day, I was wandering around, like the campus with a couple of bucks in my pocket. That's all I had for another 6 days.
Portland does throw a pretty good 4th of July party. They'll have the I don't know if the Jazz Fest was happening that early. I don't think it went back that far, but yeah. For us, no big deal. Hanging out with mom, doing the local show. I thought about going to see some big fireworks, but mom's not really up for travel like that. So just hanging out. Yeah.
You have your mom.
I have my mom. That's fireworks enough. I am. I really am. I am. Yeah.
Mine just turned 98, and she hasn't been around since she was 83. So there you go.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. Well, Morty and Joe are joining us tonight. We'll hope we'll get some interesting questions in on top. If there's any topic that's really pressing on your minds that you think we should discuss this evening, hey, come on in. We'll do anything and ask your questions. Cube space. We got
it's Joe.
Look at that. We got all sorts of people.
Right. Yeah.
One guy, two places. Okay.
Right.
We expect multiple questions from different accounts for different topics.
Right, exactly. Right on.
David Livingston can do that. I don't know how. He can be focused. He can be in the middle of an interview. He'll be sending me text messages on a completely different topic.
Yep.
It's like, how does he do that?
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. You sent this one up first thing this morning, and I'm like, ooh, that one's spicy.
And it's from an alternate website. I go to a lot of these alternative places,
right.
And I get some really good stuff off of those places.
Yeah.
And so I love it. So to me, that's just independent journalism, right?
Yep.
So when I see stuff, I've never seen a space thing from that before. So I gotta think there's something to this if they're posting it. It's a legal insurrection, and apparently some other folks have picked it up too. This story. Basically, what it boils down to is China is starting to leave a growing trail of spent rocket stages in low Earth orbit. The pace is picking up, and it's increasing the risk of collisions. We thought we wouldn't have this problem for a few more years, but it's already getting crowded. And everybody's pointing to China as the culprit.
Yeah, this report here that they reference from Breaking the Fence really kind of dug into it with some real facts here, right? That 98% of the global increase is abandoned rocket body mass. China has left over 40 times the amount of the combined of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like that's insane stuff, right? And China knows better, right? They know better. So this is not an accident. Right? This is not an accident.
If it's not, then it affects them too.
Well,
they have to dodge their own shit to get to the Tiangong station.
No, wait a second, because that's a well-known military philosophy doctrine called asymmetric warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Because the U.S. has more than 85% of all the assets in orbit, it affects us more than anybody else, right? And the rocket bodies that popped up, that broke apart the last two times, both of them were China. And China does know better, right? So this is not an accident.
Interestingly, they also noticed that obviously another clear danger. It's not even just the booster itself, but some of these things still have some leftover fuel in there.
right?
And so something, yeah, boom, now you have 1 million more objects. Thank you. Have a
Yep.
nice day.
Yep. Yep. And so, yeah, they've got their own space station, and they've got their constellations in development, but they don't have the numbers. And these are typically hanging out at the 650 kilometer level altitude. And so they're just going to put them in other places. So basically, they have planted carefully untimed bombs in really important locations, and they're just waiting for them to go off. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what the title of the article suggests, they've created a minefield,
Yep.
and it's literally true.
It's literally true.
It's not a metaphor.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It does kind of go. I'm going to make the leap that it also ties into lawfare, but it's not that they are practicing lawfare the way they usually do. In this case, they're exploiting a loophole that doesn't force them to do anything about it. There's no, there are agreements in place, but there are no treaties that say you must deorbit by such and such a time. So,
right. So it does underscore the fact that there isn't it's not. I'm not saying the word regulatory, but I am saying the word diplomatic. There's got to be some kind of, because we have the Outer Space Treaty, we have these other things. We need to have something on a global scale that at least we agree to certain principles when it comes to mitigating debris, and this is what we agree to and how we're going to do it from now on.
Yeah.
And this just really underscores the fact that it needs to happen a lot sooner than we probably thought.
Well, so those things exist in some cases, but they're not at the treaty level. They're at
Right.
It would be a good idea if level, right? It's not a treaty. So, and then the other thing that this article kind of ties in with this, although they are unrelated, is that China has a space plane that acts a lot like our X-37B that goes up and deploys things for the for Space Force, and so they've got one that has, let 9 different little things loose that we don't know what they are or what they're
right. I just saw that report. Yeah, that one of those got out there and deposited something. In orbit and then went away. So, but we do that stuff too. Our own X-37 does that stuff too. We don't know what classified payloads they're sending up there.
Yep. So, hats off to the folks at Leo Labs and the report that they wrote. I'm just going to read one piece of it. Between 2021 and 2025, China has abandoned 51 spent rocket bodies in LEO above 650 kilometers, more than doubling the number of the previous 5 years, bringing the total to 96. So in the last 5 years, somebody up top has said, you know what? Why don't we just leave our junk up there? It's fine. It's good for us to do that.
It's dandy.
Well, but no, it's more to the point. It is good for us to do that, right?
Right.
So, don't love that. I got into some of the comments, by the way, which are quite entertaining. I don't usually read the comments, but some are pretty good. But then, somebody's like, oh, just create a tractor beam like in Star Wars, which I thought was pretty entertaining. But the other one is like, look, go make a debris capture company and just do that, except those items are still technically the domain of the People's Republic. So you actually start an international incident by taking them.
But there are already international treaties and laws regarding salvage rights. Could you make the legal case that you can extend that to space? It's abandoned
Those haven't
material.
been tested yet, so
Yeah, well, maybe it's
you got to
maybe
have a pile of money to build the spacecraft to go grab them, and then you need a pile of money to defend yourself in the international court systems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that one outfit we talked to a long time ago, maybe that's why we're not hearing much from them right now, because they're discovering that themselves. Before we move on from this topic, though, I want to just offer a little aside, a little, maybe you check this out. If you got your phone, go find an app called Skyview. Now, the free app doesn't do what called Skyview. The free app doesn't do a lot.
Yeah.
But the paid app, the paid version, it's a whopping $3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the paid version, in addition to showing you where all the planets are and all the constellations are and certain very bright stars, it also shows the positions of every piece of orbital debris that's being tracked somehow. And it'll show you an image of this, like a spinning booster, and you'll click on it, and it'll go, "Oh yeah, this is a certain Atlas rocket or Atlas booster that was first launched in 1963, and it's still orbiting. And here's something from '88 that was cast off from the shuttle. Here's some other thing that was going on, and there's tons of this stuff. It's all over the place. It's like a rash on the screen, but it's entertaining to look at some of these things.
Yeah. It is pretty neat. I actually did do that one time after the show and got the app. It is pretty cool to show that stuff off.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to
next up, guys. Next up, this is huge.
Yep.
This is huge. Rocket Lab buys Iridium.
This is definitely my favorite story of the week. All the other stuff I could ramble on about this one for a while.
Yep.
But let me get this link in the chat there and then share it.
I'm doing better at finding links that actually link to something. So if it says Reuters or Space News, I just scroll on by now.
Sorry. Yeah. So this Rocket Lab deal is a big deal. First of all, Iridium has been around since the earliest of the 90s. They were funded originally by Nokia. It went bankrupt. It came back to life. It went bankrupt again. It came back to life, and it went bankrupt again. It was seriously the fourth time it came online, and it was billions of dollars, $2 or $3 or $4 billion back in 1995 money to build the original Iridium network.
Right. So essentially, with this deal, they broke even.
I think I don't know what the earliest investors are doing with it, but I think this is a great deal for both Rocket Lab and Iridium. It's about an $8 billion deal. They're getting 80 satellites as part of it, but they also get 2.5 million customers. They also get access to a very large war chest. They pulled in Morgan Stanley and Wells Fargo to basically capitalize this. This is 50% equity, 50% cash transaction. Jason, Iridium became insolvent several times.
Oh, they had the model for insolvency through the 80s and early 2000s.
So they, going back to my days at Boston University, they were we actually dug into them pretty deep because they were, I wasn't doing anything at all with space then, but I was in the business management track, and their deal was so complicated. They had to go to every single nation that they had flyby over and get one nation at a time to approve their deal, which is what took so long. The engineering was done and flew on time. They did not have a single mishap, but the task of getting overflight permissions and connectivity on the ground permissions, it ate up so much of their resources they could never get profitable. That was version 1 and version 2 of Iridium. So yeah, Jason, they definitely had some they had some bad days, but so far as I know, they've been profitable for quite a while now. Not massively, but adequately. Hence the $8 billion valuation. But that's $8 billion in US dollars today. Track back to what was $4 billion worth in 1995. I don't think that's a break even. I think that's a solid fail, because of the inflation and the time value of money. So yeah. Is this right? Jason's saying that it's a product that Beck himself uses. That goes back to Warren Buffett's, drink Coke, invest in Coke philosophy. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so I think this is a great deal. I think it's good for both of them. People asked me, weeks and weeks ago when SpaceX was going pre IPO, and they asked me what I liked. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you about SpaceX, but there's a couple companies I think that are going to do really well because of what SpaceX is doing, and I listed Rocket Lab as one of the companies I really had a lot of confidence in.
Well, I just went to my inflation calculator, and $4 billion in 1995 is $8.6 billion today.
There you go. So it is pretty close to break even. Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Funny.
It's called Tom's inflation calculator. It's not, but I don't own that. That's a. Wish I did at this point, but that guy's probably doing all sorts of. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Let's go. Yep.
Okay. These are back-to-back NASA stories because they kind of interact with one another. NASA and the Small Business Administration are now announcing a partnership, and to support the growth of American space economy. So, and supposedly that was the thing. I guess that's what they signed. Signing the agreement was today at 1 p.m.
Yeah, I don't have any actual news for that news.
I know it should. You think it'd be on NASA's website right now because supposedly it was a done deal today.
Yeah, no, and Googling NASA administration and Small Business Administration partnership doesn't actually turn into news. So we don't know what that looks like.
But on the other side of that, NASA also selected 41 proposals from 37 companies to advance technologies in support of the agency's goals to establish a long-term presence on the moon and enable human exploration of Mars.
Right.
And they have some of the topics were power generation, in-space logistics, and dust mitigation technology. Now, it sounds like maybe this thing they're doing with SBA will have some crossover effect on some of these companies, especially if they're just, out of their garage startup.
Well, we particularly brought this one up. Sean pointed this one to us because it specifically calls out our friend Mary Glaze and her space weather group was part of this. So we probably want to talk to her about this. I think she's on next week or the week after. She had a delay. She was supposed to be on like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, it's cool, right? It's kind of this ongoing thing that adds up a little bit over time. Yeah, I don't really have that much to say about this one.
Okay.
Other than it exists.
You'll have something to say about this. There is a publicly listed German space technology company called OHB and they have announced plans to raise up to 510 million euros by issuing 1.7 million new shares.
Great.
And they want to use the proceeds to bolster their production capacity. And they also want to fund planned acquisitions, investments in launch vehicles, and what they call future tangible projects. So back to sovereign stuff again.
Back to sovereign. This is certainly a part of that 40 billion euros that Germany is deploying. Yeah, this is great. We've mentioned this European Space Agency European Launcher Challenge at least 6 times. Yep. All of these different companies are participating in it. I like this. So I don't know the German stock market at all, but it's a publicly traded company on the German Stock Exchange. That's pretty neat. Yep. But we've been seeing this roll-up strategy work especially well here with Redwire. Redwire is a roll-up strategy, and so is Voyager, right? Both publicly traded companies, both have a lot of money in their checking account. They are using, and that's also true with Rocket Lab, right? That they're making acquisitions to bolster their position. Roll-up strategies are working. They're working, and this is the first one I've seen it working in another country. So that's pretty cool.
Well, and the thing is, we've talked about the sovereign stuff a lot. A lot of countries are starting to do this now, especially in Europe. And so, and we've not done this. We're just doing this to inform, not to frighten anybody. It's just there's no FOMO here. There's none of that stuff going on because, as I think I said this last Thursday, my guess is that it's going to be anywhere from 5 to 8 years before U.S. capability, U.S. sales might start to diminish a little bit as a result of that strategy. They're putting big investments into this, but as you know, it takes a while for those things to actually form and take hold and get some traction.
Yeah.
And so we don't have American industry, space industry didn't have anything to worry about today.
Right.
Or next year, or even the next presidential administration.
Well, okay. Now
after that,
because we're already hearing. So this wasn't one of the articles we were posting today, but there's already getting multiple confirmations that SpaceX's rideshare is closing down after probably 2027, 2028, because they're at max capacity right now. Yeah. SpaceX is at max capacity. And now if you add in Rocket Lab using their own Iridium network satellites going up, Iridium might be at max capacity. And we've already seen that Blue is using other people's rockets as it rebuilds its launch pad. So it's also at max capacity.
Yep.
We might actually not have enough rocketry capacity in the world soon. And that is going to start driving prices up.
It will. It will. But also, I like the idea that they picked up Iridium because they now want to get into the constellation market.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a busier and busier sky every way you look at it.
Yep. Jason gives us another little tidbit here. With the addition of Iridium plus their other stuff, they now have the second largest constellation in the world. I didn't think Iridium's was that big. I thought Planet Lab was the second biggest, but I might be wrong about that. So I would look into that a little bit. But they're up there for sure. Yeah. Iridium was named because of the number in the atomic table, the periodic table. And so whatever that 76 or 66, whatever that number is, that's how many satellites they originally had, but they have more than that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, cool. OMB. I don't know anything about them as an international
And
corporation.
that's the other fun part about doing this gig, because we're always coming up across these companies that raise hundreds of millions of dollars, and we never heard of them before.
Yeah, half a
But
billion.
we're hearing of them now. It's like everybody's in stealth mode until,
Right. Right on. All right. Let's move on. We're at the halfway mark there, buddy. So
we got tons of extra stuff, and it's 8:30 already.
Yeah.
So we're good. Dude, we got 30 minutes. I think we can do this. For all you people that came in looking for a show, I want to apologize to you again in advance. Those of you who arrived, our producer is still stuck in Vegas, and our guest tonight called in sick. So rather than play a rerun, Michael and I just thought we have all these news items. Let's just wing it and have fun. And you guys can chime in any way you like. And glad to have you. And Veronica just arrived. Hi, Veronica.
Hey, Veronica.
Hi, Jonathan. I've seen. Say hi to Jason. I know Morty's here, and Joe and Terrell.
I'm gonna post up Jonathan's here, projecting the next 10 years of space-based on the preceding 10 years won't work. Competition for the EU, it'll happen quickly. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can't use the past as a crystal ball for the future, not anymore.
Well, I'm not looking at the past as a crystal ball to the future. I'm looking at actual times from our experience that people spend, they get the money, they start developing stuff, and then they launch 5 years later.
Right, yeah.
That's that fundamental has not changed.
Nope, it's still hard.
And so that's why I'm not seeing a huge threat to U.S. industry. And I'm still not seeing a threat to U.S. industry. You know why? Because we are America, and we have the best entrepreneurial culture and risk-taking culture in the world. We adapt, we pivot, we move around. We create workarounds, we do other things, and we've been doing it that way for 100 plus years.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what the number of SpaceX clones that are coming out of China is. It might be 4 or it might be 6. I sometimes get the names of some of those confused, but India is working on a SpaceX clone.
But Israel is also having a lot of problems. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff. I passed by. Basically, it was all Israel, because they're having some setbacks, some stuff that they're working on, including their first manned mission may be pushed back another year.
Oh, drat.
Yeah. But there's so much of it. I didn't know, what to pull out and what I shouldn't. And so that might be a special topic some other time. And maybe we should think about that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Joel Trellis, I think, is right when he says launch is an extreme bottleneck, and it's only going to get worse. We need these new rockets 2 years ago.
Right? Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, Elon is building the factory. He wants to build a Starship factory that'll just be cranking them out multiples per week.
Yep.
New ones.
Yep.
And so I'm sure they're going full steam on that since the IPO.
Yep, for sure. Let's
go.
Let's talk about this NASA one. So this $30 million for its first of a kind rescue. We talked about that last week with the Swift telescope and relativity. But this article has kind of more information than we were getting before.
It has some meat to it.
Oh, sorry, I said relativity. I meant catalyst.
Yeah.
Here's the quote here. This is not just any spacecraft. This is an observatory with unique capabilities for astrophysics. It is a swift observatory that can quickly pivot across the night sky to find things that go boom in the night. I think that's very poetic and kind of pretty.
Yeah, it is. It also, it's one of the few that looks for gamma ray bursts.
Right, right.
Vaguely important.
Yeah, things that go boom in the night.
Yeah.
I don't understand this though. Uh, it was launched in 2004 for $250 million. And so they're going to go up and rescue it. Is that the plan? Is that what I'm seeing here? Reboost it.
Mhm.
Is that the basic idea?
That's the basic, rendezvous and reboost it.
Because if you can do that, then I know that Isaacman was really interested in reboosting Hubble. It almost feels like a dress rehearsal for boosting Hubble. That's how I was.
And that's exactly what's going on, because I think Jeff Faust put out something like that this morning.
Oh, okay,
They're
cool.
saying that because they're using an old Pegasus for this.
Okay, all right.
And so it's not even a Falcon or something. Using an old Pegasus, and that would be good enough. So 30 million is like a cheap deal compared to a lot that could be done. But they're thinking if this is successful, they're going to try a similar thing again to boost other things like the Hubble, et cetera, et cetera.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, this could be a low-cost solution to keep some great assets in place. They're still useful.
Nice. Like you and I, some great assets in place that are still useful.
Vintage assets, may I say? Yes.
All right, let's stick with NASA here.
Now this is the other side of it.
Right.
They canceled the hardware contracts, and the canceled contracts reached 5.9 billion. That doesn't mean it almost says that you saved 5.9 billion dollars. No, you didn't. You spent a lot of that already.
No, right.
And you actually took delivery of what got built.
Right.
And now it's just going to sit there in a museum with the Ark of the Covenant.
I saw Raiders of the Ark this weekend as their 40th anniversary.
Uh-huh.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this is a personal aside here. So we went to the symphony, the Seattle Symphony. So you had the live orchestra on the bottom and the movie up on the screen above. And so you were getting this kind of symphonic experience, but also the great movie. And it was funny because there were a bunch of kids, and maybe in their early 20s, their parents had probably dragged them along to this thing, and they were trying to dissect the movie without all the context of it, like the cultural context of it. But it was great to see it. It was great to see it this weekend. And
yeah. Although rightfully, Joe Luttrell says the plan is to boost this and continue working, but we need more of these telescopes, not just a boost to an old one.
Right. Yeah.
And I would remind him that Nancy Grace will be launching this year.
Right. We are. Yep.
So yes, one more. We're going to get one more. I don't know about after that.
Oh, we'll definitely have a telescope on the far side of the moon for sure.
That would be
that's the next great telescope.
That would be absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's just amazing that some of these things, they could cancel the contracts before they got delivery. It's just, my God. So it's just gone. It's gonna sit somewhere. Yeah, and the picture they showed of Jared Isaacman, he didn't look happy at all in that little video. God, poor guy.
You're in charge of something that you had no control over.
Yep.
And it's just gonna be bad press. Like there's no way around it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I hope that some of these things are in fact useful, but how do you even get them out? Like once they're in the warehouse with the Ark, how do you get them out of that warehouse? Send a letter like, hey, I heard you build a pretty cool module. You want to sell it? Like, you want to put it on eBay? I don't know what you do with it.
And some Russian oligarch buys it, right?
Oh, yeah. Or Liftport, or one of the roll-up strategy companies.
Well, you better start. Yeah, I guess we better start digging in now to find out what might be useful later, because you'll see it on eBay 5 years from now for a fraction of the original cost.
Right. All right, let's move on. What do we got here? Oh, more Rocket Lab stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we can. We don't have to go into detail over this one. I thought Rocket Lab wins again. They just bought something, and now they're going to launch Sun and Earth Sciences missions from New Zealand, under a NASA contract. I thought was kind of, and they're all taking place next year.
I don't really have anything to add to this. We've kind of already talked about. I like how here they're saying a California headquartered space company. Boy, they play that game a lot, right? Well, sometimes they're New Zealand, and so they connect into the European Space Agency, and sometimes they're American, depending on which news article you're reading.
Yeah.
Or which contract they're getting. Craigslist. Jason's like, we're going to see all those spare parts.
Yeah, I know. Well, Jonathan Connell says, they keep them perfectly. There's a space shuttle bay school bus thing, human rated, still in perfect condition somewhere. Well, it's called Buran.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It actually flew once.
Yeah, it would be pretty great to just like line these things up, get the keys to what's that thing called? Warehouse 17. That's the pop culture version.
Warehouse 13.
13, yeah.
It was Warehouse 13. That show was fun.
Yeah. Just go in and start poking around and see what they got. We'll find the Ark. We find
well, of course, if someone did that in Warehouse 13, it always inevitably led to a cluster.
Right.
Before the end of the show.
Right.
They're destroying the space-time continuum, There's something Tesla built.
Right. All right. What do we got about Firefly?
This is the coolest thing I've seen all day. Because they hired these people to do the AI-based software that enabled not Blue Moon, but their Blue Ghost spacecraft on the moon. But one of the few that landed successfully without tipping over.
Right.
And so they decided, I guess, here it is a year later or more. Let's just acquire that whole company.
Right.
So we can have that exclusively for ourselves, because what they do is so good, we should be, renting it out.
That's not just what we were talking about a minute ago as a roll-up strategy. That's also a defensive capability that they want to make sure that they keep for themselves. Yeah, I dig that. That was smart.
I thought that was the craziest, coolest thing. Yeah, it's a short little thing, but it was enough. We got enough.
Yep.
So that's that.
Here's John Connell saying he knows somebody who's trying to buy that school bus thing. All right, well, that's pretty neat.
Okay.
And then here's Luttrell. For sale, one space-rated storage module, never used. Make offer. That's the Craigslist.
Bring your BYOL. Bring your own launcher.
Bring your own launcher. All right. Here's one for the kids here.
Yep.
Gotta love the branding of this Hulk Human Lander Challenge. It's for the students, and trying to figure out, how to. This kind of goes a little bit with Dallas Beanhoff from last week, where he was talking about one of the challenges that he runs. So $10,000 to California Polytechnic State University. Good for them.
Cal Poly has been a rock in these things forever. I remember Cal Poly when I was living there. Those guys were a rock then. They always crank out some really top-ranked people.
I had a pretty good intern from Cal Poly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that in Santa Barbara? Am I
Yes,
remembering the same place?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yep.
Either that or is it SLO?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah. They're like right next, pretty close to each other. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Through competitions like the Human Lander Challenge, NASA fosters a next generation of engineers and researchers while advancing the technologies needed for astronauts to explore deep space. Kind of hard to go wrong with that program.
That's true.
For more information, see Artemis program. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
All right.
now, here's the one that interests me because it's just a natural outgrowth of the IPO. So, in a way, because Elon Musk apparently got permission from the Federal Trade Commission to acquire a startup called Mesh Optical Technologies that were founded by 3 former SpaceX engineers last year.
We're going to see that
So
over again.
it's already circling around.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'll bring you back. And the guys at Mesh are going, we tried to get out. He pulled me back in.
No way. They're like, woohoo! We doubled down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. This off of another acquisition last week with Cursor. I mean, he's got the capacity to have SpaceX go into the roll-up strategy game we were just talking about in a big way. $80 billion in the bankroll and the ability to print money off of your equity. Speaking of which, what's the price today? Did you look? It dropped for a bit.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Way to the bottom. God, it's up. It's up 10 today.
Okay, all right,
164.
all right. But it dipped low enough for your option to cash.
Yeah, I didn't trip my option. Oh well.
All
But
right.
I've got all the rest of July.
Okay. All right.
So, well, I think it was also being pulled along by the markets a little bit in general. The Dow was up 306, Nasdaq was up 522, even the S&P was up. So, yeah.
Well, let's come back to Mesh for a second because okay, let's just look through this for a second. Mesh Optical came out of stealth in February when they announced it had raised a $50 million Series A.
Yep.
And then isn't February when they announced when SpaceX announced their IPO? Like, what great timing is that? Like, hey,
absolutely,
we're going to be our own thing, and then immediately after, SpaceX is like, nope.
And here's the key paragraph right here. This is why SpaceX picked them up. Because the Mesh co-founders saw an opportunity to develop optical transceivers for terrestrial data centers. Guess what?
Yep.
And you say Anthropic, and you say, all those other AI things that he's been hoovering up.
Yep. Good.
So,
call.
It's weird. It's almost like these guys that work at like big corporate entities, I say traditionally, and then they get out of the big corporate entity and they go work for the government and a regulator for a while. Then they get out of that and they become a lobbyist.
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's just a different principle, and a lot more money changes hands.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, a revolving door with stock options.
How do we get in, Michael? How do we do that?
Oh, no, I'm not going that route, but it is fun to watch from the outside.
Yes, it is. And we're good at doing that.
Yeah. Joe Luttrell is speculating that SpaceX is going to go into the Earth observation market. This purchase is a quick way to get into the optics quick. All right. I wasn't really thinking that, and I think they have other priorities, but SpaceX doing Earth observation with 1 million satellites Why wouldn't you just go and buy Planet Labs? I don't know that. I don't know that I agree with you, Joe. I'm not sure I do. Oh, different type of optics. All right. I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what you're saying there. I don't. I don't think SpaceX is going to do Earth observation. I think they could do it if they wanted to. I just don't necessarily think.
But is it a big enough of a paying market for them to want to do that?
It is, but it's also pretty full. Like there's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the same opportunities there that they would in other.
And when a market's that full, the margins always go down.
Right.
Because everybody's competing.
Yeah.
It's always a race to the bottom then.
Yeah. Well, that is the end of our official news. Unless you got to throw some stuff up there, Tom.
I've got some. I sent you a bunch of stuff. Like here's a thing. It's the CNBC's bottom line.
Okay, I got them. Yep, I got them right here.
SpaceX stock has cooled. Hiring for jobs in the space economy, however, has not.
All right, loading these up right now. I didn't think you were gonna go with this Kelly announcement. I'm gonna put that one up because I think it's just worth a chuckle. So
okay, well, it's about Asteroid Day, and we're working on stuff for that too. So
yeah. So Asteroid Day, it's official. I never heard of it, but apparently it's been around for 5 years, and
the original group is who runs this is an outfit out of Luxembourg. I have connections with them now, because one of my guys in Sydney, a second stage investor in Sydney, wants to do an Asteroid Day type of event in Australia. But it wouldn't be till next January, so you can't really call it Asteroid Day. We're kind of figuring out what to do with that, because December, January period in Australia, that's when everybody's out of school.
Right.
And so it's that's the time to do it, because it's the height of summer.
Cool.
And so we're still trying to figure that out, but there might be an opportunity for the center to do a major sponsored pitch event, and also it's kind of a student summit where they learn a whole bunch of things about how the space industry works, and give them some direction. And here's where you apply for jobs when you get out of school, that kind of shit. And so that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got 6 months to put that together. We'll see if it happens, but it's very enticing, and that's another project that we're working on.
Very cool. I like that. I did not really know that much about that. They got Brian May from Queen to talk about how Doctor. Let's always forget. I mean, we always forget that he's a PhD. Asteroids have shaped our solar system. I can't do his accent justice, but it's a great accent.
Yeah.
Seeded life on Earth, and yes, posed a threat to it. They are objects of genuine wonder and genuine consequence. This United States Senate resolution honors both of those truths, and I hope it inspires people everywhere to look up, ask questions, and join the effort to understand and protect our extraordinary planet. Founding member of Queen, and oh yeah, by the way, co-founder of Asteroid Day and PhD in astrophysics. It's kind of a badass. Like, okay, I'm gonna stop being in one of the most successful bands of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and then I'm going to go back to school. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Mark Kelly, senator from Arizona, co-sponsoring this bill. So that's tomorrow. Good for us. Yay for the Yep. All right.
Well, the other thing I posted basically said that recent government data show the rate of job growth within the space economy has outpaced the broader labor market.
Oh, for sure. I'm not
With
sure.
Younger workers in particular being beneficiaries, salaries are high, and there are many open positions for workers with degrees and experience in fields including and especially engineering and information security.
Yes.
There's a large imbalance in labor supply and demand in our industry, especially in skilled manufacturing positions such as machinists and welders. You don't have to hack code.
No, absolutely
to
not.
get into this industry. So
is that the which article are you referencing?
That's the CNBC article. SpaceX stock has cooled, hiring for jobs in the space economy hasn't.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not quite as organized on the back end of this one. All right. Yes. Yeah. Washington State, Stan Scholl keeps a running track record, and we are missing thousands of jobs, right? 1,500, 2,500, something like that, unfilled positions in Washington State. And it's such a big deal that the state of Washington hires an economist to track that stuff. So, yeah, that's the only one I can speak of with authority. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. What else did I have I thought was interesting? Well, with some guy, I don't know if Forbes says that the Starship could spark explosion in space tourism. You know, but it's
that feels like an agenda article. I'm just going to call it what I
yep,
think it is.
yep,
Uh,
absolutely. But you know, it's Forbes. How often do they talk about this stuff? It's interesting. But they go on and on and on about not a lot, and so
yeah, Forbes is not the org it used to be. I'm just going to politely say that.
yeah,
There's a lot of paid positioning here for people who don't really know that much about this industry. Surprisingly, the New York Times did a really interesting article on exactly this topic a couple days ago, but we didn't cover it. But they had an outline of just how many people have flown, and they broke it down by Axiom and Blue and Virgin, and they had good things to say about Virgin, which I was surprised at, and I was very surprised at the comments about Axiom, because Axiom has raised $1 billion in fees with their 20 astronauts, which I was very surprised at. So, I'm not going to give this article a lot of credit, but it's there. The Times had a more interesting and I think better researched article.
well, here's something you sent me. It's just a press release, but it was apparently Honeywell Technologies is launched as an independent pure play automation company following completion of Honeywell Aerospace spinoff.
Yeah, Honeywell, they've been doing this. They've been planning this for a couple years, apparently. I heard of that this morning, so I have no backstory here. But now Honeywell Aerospace is publicly traded on NASDAQ. So I was going to watch it. I don't know jack about this thing. Yeah. This is from their CEO. With the completion of the separation, we have successfully transferred Honeywell into 3 independent industry-leading companies: Honeywell Technologies, Honeywell Aerospace, and Solstice Advanced Materials. Each company is built around a distinct strategy with greater focus and financial flexibility to pursue a long-term growth agenda. Cool. Yeah, I dig that. I don't know anything more about it than what's in this article, but I thought that was pretty cool. Had no idea that was happening. All right, we got 1 minute left.
Okay, I got one quick one then.
All right.
Russia.
Okay.
The TASS put out a press release saying that even though they're behind, Russia will begin exploration and development of lunar resources after 2036.
No, the hell they will not.
Well, you know what? The moon's a big place, and so in relative terms, if they can, find a way to start scraping something off of it 8 years after other people have started doing that, then good for them. But they're throwing their hat in and says, "We're in it. We're in it."
A draft presidential decree, quote, on the fundamentals of space policy of the Russian Federation in the field of space activities and the use of its results through 2036 and beyond. That does not translate super well. Yeah, Luna 28, 29, 30 spacecraft. I mean, honestly, Russia is a vassal state of China, and it's probably going to be a failed state 10 years from now. So I don't have a lot of confidence in their ability to hit the moon.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's where I got. All right, and with that,
And on that, yeah, we are done, man. Thank all of you for being here and sticking with us tonight. This is all just one big, little mess, and I thought we did well, and hope we see Sean again real soon. Next Thursday, this coming Thursday, July 2nd, just before the holiday, Morty Freeman's going to be back with us, but it's a different kind of show. He's going to be doing his pitch.
nice.
Morty's going to be doing his pitch, and we all get to watch that and ask him any questions that we want. That includes any of you who show up as well. And so it'll be a fun night. I hope you all make it. It'll be a good thing because Morty's kind of Michael's acolyte on the space elevator cult, and he's going for it, and great. That's great. And we're going to see what his business model looks like now, because I know he's had time to refine it. We had some conversations at ISDC, and so I am really looking forward to seeing this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I hope you see you then, and that'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, as always, on Thursday. And on that, for Michael Lane, I remain Thomas Andrew Olson. Keep watching the skies.